When the district's highest officer, DM Nusrat's mother, dressed in simple clothes like a poor woman, went to a large government bank to withdraw money, all the bank officers insulted her, thinking she was a beggar. No one could have imagined that this simple woman was actually the mother of the DM madam of the district, looking at her with eyes of disdain. Everyone was wondering what this woman had come to do in such a big bank. At that moment, the woman slowly moved toward the counter. At the counter sat a security guard named Kalpana. The elderly woman said to Kalpana, "Daughter, I need to withdraw money from the bank. Here is the check." Without even looking at the check, Kalpana started saying to the woman, "How dare you come into the bank? This bank is not for people like you. Why have you come, beggar? This bank is for rich people. Here only big people have accounts. A woman like you does not have the ability to even open an account in such a bank. Get out of here, otherwise I will throw you out." The woman said, "Daughter, at least look at the check. I need to withdraw 5 lakh rupees in cash." Hearing this, Kalpana became angry. "This is not a place for jokes. What do you think? That whatever you say I will believe? A woman like you does not have that kind of power. And what did you say, 5 lakh? Have you ever even seen that much money in your life? Get out of here quickly, otherwise I will drag you out." Just then the bank manager peeked out from his cabin and asked, "Who is making so much noise?" Kalpana immediately said, "Some beggar woman, sir. She does not want to leave." The bank manager came out angrily and without asking anything slapped the elderly woman hard. The slap was so strong that the woman staggered and fell to the ground. Then the manager called the security guard and said, "What are you doing?" "Drag her out of here. I don't know where these kinds of people come from." Kalpana forcefully pushed the woman out of the bank. All the customers and employees present there quietly watched everything. No one knew that this woman was DM Nusrat's mother, and the whole incident was being recorded on the bank's CCTV cameras. Returning home, the woman cried as she called her daughter DM Nusrat and told her everything, how she was insulted in the bank, how she was humiliated and thrown out. Hearing this, Nusrat trembled inside. To her, it was nothing less than fire. She said to her mother while crying, "Mother, tomorrow I will come myself, and I will go with you to withdraw the money from that bank." The next morning, Nusrat wore a simple cotton sari and prepared to go with her mother to the bank. Mother and daughter hugged each other. There were tears in their eyes, both pride and pain. Nusrat's mother was proud of her daughter. She had raised her with so much hardship, educated her, and today had placed her in such a high position. Exactly at 11 in the morning, mother and daughter reached outside the bank. The bank had not yet opened. Although the bank was supposed to open at 10 o'clock, Nusrat sat calmly by the door and waited. A little while later, when the bank opened, they walked inside. Their clothes were so simple that the customers and staff there mistook them for ordinary rural women. No one could imagine that this Nusrat was actually the district's DM. Slowly, they moved toward the counter, where Kalpana was sitting. Nusrat said politely, "Ma'am, we need to withdraw some money for my mother's medicine and a few urgent things. Please check this check." Kalpana looked the 2 women over, from head to toe. One an older woman in a sari, the other a simply dressed young woman. There was no hint that either was an official. She sneered, "Perhaps you've come to the wrong bank. This branch handles high-profile clients." Nusrat smiled faintly and said, "Please check the check once, ma'am. If it's not here, we will leave." Reluctantly, Kalpana took the envelope and said, "It'll take a little time. Sit in the waiting area." Nusrat took her mother's hand and sat in an empty chair, offered her water, and waited quietly. People in the bank stared. This was a place where wealthy businessmen, officials, and influential people usually came, with shiny cars and smart clothes, so a mother and daughter dressed simply drew curious looks. Whispers began. Where did they come from? Maybe for a pension? They shouldn't even have an account here. Nusrat heard it all, but remained composed. Her mother felt uneasy, but seeing her daughter's patience steadied herself. After a while, Nusrat said to Kalpana, "If you're busy, please arrange a meeting with the manager. I have an urgent matter." Irritated, Kalpana called the manager's cabin. "Sir, a woman is here. She says she needs to see you. Shall I send her?" The manager glanced out at the plainly dressed woman and her mother and said coldly, "I have no time for useless people. Tell her to sit." Kalpana said, "They're in the waiting area, sir. Will you be free soon?" Nusrat said nothing. She simply held her mother's hand and waited, dignity and patience together. But seeing her mother's discomfort and hearing the whispers, Nusrat tightened her grip and rose, straightened her sari's palu, and walked directly to the manager's cabin. The manager, who had been watching them through the glass, was startled. He hurried out and blocked Nusrat's way, saying, "Yes, what is it?" Nusrat handed over the envelope and said, "I need to withdraw money. My mother needs medicine and there are many other things to take care of. Please check this check," she said. The manager, without even taking the envelope, replied irritably, "When there's no money in the account, how can there be a transaction? Judging by how you look, I don't think you'd have money in your account." "You come here acting big, asking to withdraw cash." Nusrat remained calm and said quietly, "It would be better if you would just check it once. It's not right to make assumptions." The manager laughed openly. "Look, I have so much experience that I can tell by someone's face what they have. People like you come every day, and I don't think there's anything in your account. Don't crowd up. Everyone's watching you. The atmosphere is getting bad. Better if you leave." Now Nusrat's expression was still composed, but a different light had come into her eyes. Firmness replaced serenity. Without a word, she set the envelope on the manager's desk and in a low voice said, "All right, we'll go. But one request. Please read the information in this envelope once. It might be of use to you." With that, she took her mother's hand and began to walk toward the door. At the doorway, she stopped, turned, and with a piercing look said, "Son, you will pay the price for this behavior. Time will make it clear." For a few moments, the entire bank fell into silence, not with anger, but with a dignified warning, as powerful as any storm. The manager froze for an instant, then scoffed, "Old woman's talk," and returned to his chair. The envelope lay unopened on the desk, unread and disregarded. He had no idea that the envelope contained a truth that would soon upend his world. The next day, the bank's routine resumed. Clerks at their work, the cashier counting, the manager nursing his old pride. But this time there was a difference. The elderly woman who had been insulted the day before returned to the bank, but she was not alone. Beside her walked a commanding officer dressed in a sharp suit and shiny shoes, carrying a gleaming briefcase. As they entered, every eye in the bank turned toward them. The woman walked straight to the manager's cabin. At first he did not recognize her, but as she came closer, his face cleared with realization. The woman whose file he had rejected yesterday, whose sari he had mocked, whom he had told, "We don't want customers like you," and had forcibly removed, fear began to shadow his features now. He hurried from his cabin. The woman, radiating dignity and confidence, did not pause. She stood before the manager and said sharply, "Manager, I told you yesterday that you would suffer the consequences of your behavior. You didn't just insult me. You tried to demean thousands of ordinary citizens like me. Now the time has come to pay the price." The manager, stunned, said, "Who are you to lecture me? This is not your home. This is a bank. What can you possibly do here?" The woman cut him off with a faint smile. Then, pointing to the officer who had accompanied her, she said, "He is my legal advisor. And I am Nusrat, the district magistrate, the DM of this district, and an 8% shareholder in this bank. This is my mother, whom you treated very badly." For a moment the entire bank fell silent. All the staff, the clients, even the security guards standing by the door were shocked. The manager's face drained of color. Before he could speak, Nusrat continued, "You are being removed immediately from the post of bank manager. Your new posting will be to field duty, where you will have to interact daily with ordinary people and file reports." Nusrat opened her briefcase, placed 2 documents on the desk. The first was the manager's transfer order, the second a show cause notice stating that his conduct violated the bank's policy. The manager was now sweating. In a trembling voice he said, "Madam, I was wrong. I am ashamed. I apologize from the bottom of my heart for yesterday's incident." Nusrat's gaze remained steady, but her voice carried the justice of an officer. "What are you apologizing for?" she asked. "For insulting me alone? Or for the customers you demeaned, those ordinary people who come here, but whom you only see by their clothes? Have you ever read the bank's guidelines? It is clearly written that every customer is equal. Nobody is rich or poor in the eyes of the bank. Any employee who discriminates will face action." She paused for a moment, then said sternly, "I could have suspended you today. But I am giving you one opportunity to reform yourself. Next time it will not be just your name. Your identity will be erased." Then she called the bank's security guard, Kalpana. Kalpana came forward nervously, tears in her eyes. With trembling hands she said, "Madam, please forgive me. I made a very big mistake. From now on, I will never think that way about anyone." Nusrat looked at her and said, "Never belittle someone by judging their clothes. Remember, for your whole life, the lesson you learned today." The entire bank staff stood with their heads bowed. She looked around at everyone and said, "It is not the path, but the mindset that makes a person great. The one who understands humanity is the true officer." Saying this, Nusrat left the bank with her mother. Silence spread across the bank for a few moments. Then, one by one, everyone looked at each other. Their thinking had changed. From that day, the environment of the bank was transformed. Every customer was now treated with respect. No one was called poor because of their sari. And in everyone's heart this truth was planted. Never consider an ordinary person insignificant. Next time, that same person might stand before you as someone special. Friends, from this video we learn a great lesson. In our country, it is often seen that people judge others by their clothes, status, or situation. But this story teaches us never to look down on someone because of their clothing or simplicity. Perhaps that person holds a higher position than you, or deserves more honor. Every human being should be treated with equal respect. Whether poor or rich, true humanity is shown only by treating everyone with kindness. This is our culture. This is our tradition. Friends, today's story ends here. Many of you watch regularly, but still have not subscribed. We work day and night to make every video. Your one like and subscribe is our inspiration, so please subscribe to the channel. If you watch the video until the end, comment complete, so we know how many people watched it fully. Also, let us know where you are watching from and how you felt about the video. We truly love to know where our stories are reaching.